With your complete forecast, here's KATC Chief Meteorologist Rob Perillo.
Welcome back. Well, it's Winter Storm Part 2 for much of Louisiana, especially the central and northern part of the state. Here locally, a little bit of a wintry mix quite possible, and I think mainly freezing rain beginning tomorrow morning. But we're going to segue over to all rain and get above freezing. So we think the travel issue should be minimal, but we're going to have to keep a close eye on things first thing tomorrow morning, especially for the northern parishes of Acadiana. And of course, we'll have the latest on GMA, but you got to wait to see how these things unfold. And what we're watching unfolding is another winter storm for a good part of Oklahoma, Texas as well, going into Arkansas and northern Louisiana. And we can see that wintry mix already down in the Texas Hill Country, a combination of freezing rain, sleet, and then you get into the blue, it's snow and all snow off to the north. And locally for us, well, we do have all the watches and warnings going. These are all winter storm warnings for the Hill Country of Texas up through Arkansas into a good part of Mississippi, western portions of Tennessee, and then you have winter storm watches farther north and east, but they'll turn to warnings as well. And locally, we have seen that winter storm warning get extended farther to the south, now including Beauregard Parish. It just included Vernon, Rapides, and Avoyelles Parish earlier today in the KATC viewing area. Now it's curled down to Rapides, and we'll have to watch Allen, Evangeline, and St. Landry parishes. We are going to have some pretty chilly temperatures just above freezing, and we're not that good on saying how close those freezing temperatures are going to be when that precip gets going and how long those freezing temperatures stay. And then on top of that, Storm Prediction Center has a slight risk of severe weather over southeast Louisiana, marginal for the parishes of Acadiana, but I think it's going to be a little bit too cold, but we could still see a couple of rumbles of thunder and storms that could produce some gusty winds and hail, so we'll be on the lookout for that as well. Now you can see the fair skies across Acadiana, but clouds closing in from the west, so wherever the temperatures are in the next couple of hours, that's going to be the low for tonight. So that's why we're saying our lows around midnight. Then temperatures actually rise closer to freezing by daybreak. Notice the NAM model really busting out very light snow or some sort of winter precipitation by 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. We're not seeing that trend happening, but it could change pretty quickly. By tomorrow morning, though, it does look like a wintry mix in the area. Temperatures right at the freezing mark, so it could get a little icy in spots right around 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, but then we gradually turn over to rain, and I've been liking the way the NAM model is modeling this, showing mostly rain here. Temperatures get well into the 30s. Just a miserable day, though, with rain and embedded thunder across much of Acadiana, and a good soaking for that matter. And then that system finally pushes off to the east, and here comes the colder air again. Snow flurries, a little sleet here and there, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a snow flurry or two on Thursday. Nothing that's going to accumulate, and temperatures by Friday morning dipping back below freezing, even colder for Friday night. Now, as for accumulating ice, this is the latest NAM model really hitting western and central Louisiana, and then up toward the I-20 corridor, up to a ½ inch to an inch of ice. That is certainly bad news. Graph model really favors the western part of the state with accumulating ice, and again, you can see where the rain is going to make inroads versus where the ice is going to be most prevalent going into tomorrow. So a close call for most of Acadiana, and we'll have to watch the trends. As for liquid precipitation, it's going to be a good soaking, 1 to 2 inches of rain. Maybe that's good for the ground and maybe save the palm trees because they've been cold. The ground has been cold. That'll warm the ground up for sure. Temperature-wise, so we rise to near freezing tomorrow morning according to the latest ICAST data. We briefly get into the lower 40s, but overall we'll be in the mid to upper 30s most of the day, but 50s down toward Morgan City. And then the cold air comes back as we head into Thursday. We stay in the 30s most of the day on Thursday. So a hard freeze early, that's right now. Clouds coming in shortly. Temperatures rise after midnight and precip by daybreak, and maybe a little bit of a wintry mix. We'll see how that plays out. 43 the highs tomorrow, but we're going to be in the 30s most of the day with that wintry mix early, all rain and embedded thunderstorms. A miserable day, though. A day with temperatures in the 30s and a gusty east-northeast wind. Sideways rain, yuck. That's another good one to stay indoors. As we move into Thursday, some lingering precip out there. We stay in the 30s, upper 20s for Friday morning, mid-20s for Friday night, Saturday morning, so another hard freeze there. But then milder weather for the weekend, back into the 60s for Sunday, and lots of 60s, even lower 70s as we go into next week. Marcel?